Hi, everyone. This is Adrienne from Fame Consulting. So, this is a question I get all the time. Independent contractor versus employee. What's the difference? What are the advantages? And I'm just going to give you some quick information. Again, this is very high level. The situation you're in may differ. You may want to speak with me one on one to get an exact recommendation for your scenario. Everyone's scenario is different, right? So this is never blanket. It applies to every single person. Let's go through your facts and circumstances.
On your calendar.
All right. So independent contractor, pretty easy to set up those payments. You'll get a W-9. Ideally, you'll have some type of written agreement or contract with this person, spelling out, different terms and responsibilities. Always get stuff in writing. That's the best way to protect yourself and make sure that everything's figured out up front and both parties agree. Then you'll most likely, pay them by check or ACH. At the end of the year, you will send them a 1099 for the payments that you dispersed to them throughout the year, reporting to the IRS and reporting, how much it was that you paid to that EIN or social. Those are the general responsibilities when you're paying an independent contractor. When you have an employee, you will have to take out taxes, state, federal. Also, you may have to take out unemployment and remit those. You'll have to file certain payroll reporting. That there's a lot of reporting that goes on when you have employees, and even if you are the only employee as the owner, you will still have to take taxes out and remit those payments on a timely basis because there's different deadlines for each filing and for when to send those payments out. So most people opt to have a payroll service provider such as ADP, streamline all of those things, issue the 1099s, issue the W-2s. That way the compliance piece of having payroll is done and done correctly. And, all the boxes are checked with the IRS and the state as well. Now, with employees, you do have to, in certain circumstances, have additional insurances like workers' compensation. ADP can also help you with, shopping around for a policy. You can shop around for yourself. I personally like to use ADP, and that's what I use myself because everything is in-house and, very easy to kind of put together and figure out pricing for these things. Now, when it comes to, all right, independent contractor versus employee, what are the general differences? The differences with an independent contractor, in most cases, you're not withholding taxes. So there are no payroll tax withholding reporting to do or things like that. So you do want to look at your facts and circumstances. There are cases where you may need to withhold taxes from an independent contractor. That's less frequent, but it can exist. So this is why I start off saying, look at your own individual facts and circumstances. So what you will also want to do whenever you're working with someone is also pay attention to these common law rules because there's not really a very black and white definition of employee versus independent contractor. There's a little bit of a gray area there. So the IRS really says you need to look at the facts and circumstances to determine which category this person falls into. Do I control their schedule? Do I pay all the expenses for them? Do I buy their business cards? Do I provide their email address, laptop, and all these different things? Do I offer them some type of retirement plan or benefits? If you do all those things, chances are they are most likely an employee. If there's someone that you have a separate written agreement with, you don't really control their hours. They have their own business and branding and, they come in and they're not wearing ABC Corp, they're not wearing your brand and your things. Chances are that's more likely to be an independent contractor. So when you pick up the phone and they have their own business line and their own established, operating procedures and things, you're less likely to control those things, so they're more likely to be considered an independent contractor. So again, I will share this link. I recommend you look at your facts and circumstances. You speak with someone, go over the facts and circumstances. Maybe you might even have to go by employee to see, okay, this person is an employee, but this person's really an independent contractor. But it's important to make those distinctions because the IRS, they're always cracking down on something. And this is an area where, they can sometimes crack down on small businesses and say, no, this person's really an employee and they should have had, taxes withheld. And then you're in a situation where you need to deal with that. So just be sure to ask the questions up front and, connect with someone like myself so that we can go through the facts and circumstances to see what's the best option for you. Hope this was helpful. Until next time.